Hi everyone, welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Lily. No, that's welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name is Linda. I don't even know my own name today. That's not a good sign. Fighting with a cold today, so I think I'm a little foggy. But I did find a Tuesday tag, and sometimes I get put in this spot on YouTube and where the mentions go, and it takes me a while to think to look there. So this one is from Valentine's Day, and it was sent by Suey's Book Banter. So even though I'm a little late, we're going to do this one. So I did go kind of through it first to try to pick out at least some of the answers so that we weren't here all day while I thought about it. So the first one is what is your all-time favorite romance book? That is so hard. I mean, there are some amazing romance books out there. Um, and of course, I can only think of the ones that I've read in the past year, maybe. But I would say probably my favorite was Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It had Brianna, who was a doctor, and Jacob, who was also a doctor. And Jacob suffers from anxiety. And I thought the two characters were so amazing together. And Brianna was really good as far as helping him with the anxiety and not making him feel bad about it and just really coming alongside. And excuse me, it starts off with Jacob writing letters back and forth to her, and I thought that was very sweet, and it was just the whole thing was just such a great romance, and the two characters really seem to be so good together. So I really enjoyed that one. What is a book that makes you incredibly happy every time you read it? Um, oh, there's so many. Oh, I think my the one that makes me the happiest is Call Me Maybe, which I listened to as an audiobook, and it had so sorry. It had what were their names? Vera and Cal. So Vera calls a call center and she needs help with her website, and she's talking to Cal about it. And they are kind of, after a few minutes, they're kind of flirting, and things are, it's like the most interesting call she's ever, had. And it turns out that Cal is actually the CEO of the company, which is why it's going the way it's going. And they end up kind of developing a relationship and getting to meet each other and things. And it is a very happy book. It's very sweet. So that would definitely be the one that makes me the happiest. Um, Next one is a book character that you would date. Uh, I think the one kind of mm, I mean, I tend to like to read the ones with guys who are very much like Wonderful Husband, I guess. They're good guys. They're very sweet and wonderful and caring, and um, they have their head on straight, and there's not a lot of drama. So I think of Alexis and Daniel from Part of Your World, which is another Abby Jimenez. And I think Daniel would be the one because that's really what comes across with his character is just how down to earth he is, and how he really cares about people and tries to help them where they are. And I think that's a great quality. So I would date him if I wasn't married. What's your favorite romantic setting in romance books, and what would be your ideal date? Um, there's a lot of settings that would be nice. I mean, like the beach and the mountains and a lake and, things like that. So I think any of those would be great. I don't really have a favorite. I guess I'm not really big on big city settings. I prefer like the small town or out in the wilderness sort of things. And for a date, I think it would be a nice mountain cabin, maybe during a snowstorm, and you've got a nice fire going and a good dinner, and that sort of thing. I think that would be a great date. Um, your favorite romantic scene from a book? I think from the what was it called? The Diamond Cove books by Ellie Thornton. I've read a couple of hers, and there was one with the characters were Axel and Kate, and Axel was a rock star, and he and Kate went through all this stuff to get together and things, and there was some misunderstanding, and Axel sings at some county fair or something, and even though he's like a huge rock star, like he decides to sing at this county fair where his grandparents live. And he writes a song for Kate and sings it to her. And I think that was probably my favorite romantic moment. And which three book characters would you invite to a party and why? I assume we're talking romantic book characters. So if that's the case, probably there was a book I read called Catch and Keep, which was like brother's best friend, little fishing shack, that sort of thing. So the characters in that were really good. There was Mirren Lachlan and Josiah Cole, and they were he's got three kids and all the rest. And I just think it was a real one of his children has autism. Um, One is struggling because of his mother leaving the family like a few years before, and it makes him feel like he's not worth anything. And so there's like a lot of family dynamics going on, and then once Mirren comes into their lives, things start to change. And so I think I would really like to just invite the whole family. So I'm pretty sure I think is there two kids or three kids? No, I'm not sure there's three kids. It might have only been two. Anyway, we'll invite them all. Just because I think it would be nice to see, and I like kids, so why not? Um, the next one is a romance book you would recommend to everyone. Well, that's a tough one because I mean everyone likes something different in romance, so I don't think you could recommend anything to everyone. Um, hmm. I mean, I think in some ways, maybe the Bergman Brothers book, Always You, with Ren and, what was the name? Ren and Frankie. Only because it does have neurodivergent characters in it, as all of her books have, someone that's, either neurodivergent or disabled in some way, or a lot of stuff that goes on. And so I think kind of seeing things from that type of character's viewpoint, I think is something that everyone could benefit from. So maybe that. Um, what is a book you really want to read or own? Um, Gosh, I mean, I have so many books. I don't really know. I mean, if I want it, I borrow it or I read it or I own it. So I can't think of anything in particular that I don't have that I really want, except for the one I had to send back to the library yesterday. But that wasn't a romance. Um, so yeah, can't really think of one. And then tag some booktubers you love. Well, I love a lot of booktubers, but I'm not going to tag them because we're already near the end of February and I should have had this done weeks ago. So I'll just leave it at that. But this was a fun one. It was fun to think about those different romantic relationships in the books and whether they're good or bad. And sometimes it depends on who you ask, right? So I enjoyed doing it anyway. All right, so I would love to hear in the comments below if you have a favorite romantic couple and or a favorite romantic book that I've missed, and you'd like to recommend it to me. I'd love to hear. So hope you have a great day, friends, and we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.